Okie dokie. So the next article, we got more tweets, so we'll get these articles hurried up and done. There's going to be like 5,000 more anyways. Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2 bring major vehicle gameplay overhaul. So vehicles are a major part of Warzone, and Infinity Ward are completely overhauling how they behave in Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2. Vehicles are a huge part of any large-scale Call of Duty game mode, where players need to find ways to traverse the massive map. Modern Warfare 2 brings major changes to the gunsmith movement and AI, but has also overhauled how vehicles work. Modern Warfare 2 has officially been unveiled, and Charlie Intel attended a creator session with Infinity Ward where the devs broke down all of the new vehicle mechanics coming to both Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2. It looks like Warzone's current vehicles will feel basic in comparison with Modern Warfare 2, where players will be able to lean out windows and fire their weapons and also climb onto the roof. Plus, the vehicle's driver will be able to lean out of the window if they have a weapon equipped. It's not just the way that players interact with vehicles that have changed. The vehicles themselves have been completely redesigned. Currently, the damage vehicle Currently, the damage vehicle's take is displayed by smoke pouring out of the hood. Now, vehicles would take real-time damage with doors, hoods, and bumpers getting knocked off. And you can also blow out tires, so kind of like GTA.
Yeah.
The vehicles won't just disappear after they've been blown up, either. Players can repair damaged vehicles, including fixing damaged tires. Also, Infinity Ward are particularly excited about how water behaves in Modern Warfare 2, and they've overhauled how vehicles react to it. Cars will no longer blow up after hitting the water. Instead, they'll float for a short amount of time before sinking. The new vehicle mechanics are shown off in this creator session where the campaign takes place players to Mexico, where they fight in a massive vehicle convoy, kind of like Sicario.
Mm-hmm.
In this level, players can take control of any vehicle, jumping between and commandeering the moving vehicles. So that is everything we got so far about vehicles from Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2.
And we actually have a little bit more on water as it was brought up. Apparently it's a big thing for them this year. Finally implementing it into the engine. So basically, it's this year. We've had water before to swim in and whatnot, but apparently this year it's set to be a major component in how the game is played. As Infinity Ward have completely reworked the liquid for Modern Warfare 2. Swimming has been a feature in years. You know, that's normal. And basically, Infinity Ward thinks swimming and water in general is in need of a major overhaul. With game director Jack O'Hara stating it's, quote, not the best we could have done, revealing that the team have worked extremely hard to improve it and make it more important in Modern Warfare 2. O'Hara says Infinity Ward want to, quote, use water in combat spaces in a meaningful way and will be a prominent feature in every mode, claiming it's, quote, the best water you've seen in Call of Duty. Wow.
They're really going all out for this water.
They really are. Apparently, so like, they're going this off. They worked really hard on it. It says not only will it be present in Modern Warfare 2, but will also play a big role in Warzone 2 as well. As the team works on the new map, developers found it, quote, hard to make a Warzone map where you jump into water and die all the time. So making it work as part of the game was paramount. Warzone 2 will have shipwrecks beneath the surface, rivers with currents, clean and dirty water, rapids, and waves in the ocean, all with the goal of making the world feel, quote, alive. Vehicles will be able to interact with water, as you said, just like they do in real life. Boats will react to waves, bouncing up and down depending on how choppy the sea is. Sailing against a current will make boats slower, and while you may be able to drive trucks through shallow rivers, you'll need to really put your foot down to fight against the flow of the stream. Even weapons will be affected by water. When you jump in, you'll only be able to use pistols and melee weapons, while equipment will also react to the tide. For example, you can throw a landmine into the water and it will actually float and move with the waves. Yeah. So they're really pushing on this whole implementing water as actual part of the game play, not just being there that you can actually swim. No, they want it to be more.
Article. We still got more fucking tweets. Like, I'm sorry this video is gonna be long. If I have to, I might break it up into 2 parts, but it's gonna be a long video, and hopefully we can. It's not like an hour. Hopefully, that's all I care about. Hopefully, it's not an hour. So, Modern Warfare 2 introduced major movement changes: sliding, diving, swimming, and ledge hanging, not liege. Diving, swimming, and ledge hanging will join the notorious sliding movement as new maneuvers are set to change in the next Call of Duty franchise, Modern Warfare 2. I read that differently, but it doesn't matter. Modern Warfare since 2019's Modern Warfare, the sliding movement mechanic has been a hot topic of debate amongst Call of Duty fans. Regardless of which side of the fence you're on, players will have more movement options to contend with rather than ever in Modern Warfare 2. A diverse set of movement options will only add to your repertoire of skills outside of your gun skill. Those who master movement in Modern Warfare 2 can harness a major advantage in 1v1 gunfights. Let's take a look at all the movement changes coming to Modern Warfare 2, including sliding, diving, swimming, and ledge hanging. So on to the sliding. If you played 2019 Modern Warfare, Vanguard, or even Warzone, you'll be familiar with the sliding movement. Sliding as a movement option is making a return in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Sliding can be used as an evasive maneuver, but it also is a great tool to disorient your opponent and win a gunfight. It remains to be seen if the slide canceling technique will be possible, but we'll keep you posted as soon as we receive information. Apparently, some reputable leakers were saying that you can't slide cancel in this game. They might change it because the Kai community likes to bitch and whine a lot, and they'll probably change it. That includes us. We're not just saying we don't bitch and whine when it comes to Call of Duty.
Obviously.
Now, in terms of diving, we're not talking about like swimming and then diving under the water. We're talking about dolphin diving. Similar to sliding, diving is another movement technique that has evasive benefits. That was a stroke sentence for me. Diving was last seen as a movement option in Call of Duty World War II, but longtime fans of the franchise will know that the original Black Ops games popularized the dolphin dive. Not only will diving act as another tool that's geared for escape, but it will also act as an excellent traversal technique for those looking to maintain their stealth. Once you dive, you'll be in a low prone position and will allow you to crawl across the ground and possibly escape enemy identification. Modern Warfare 2's swimming movement. Modern Warfare 2 will place a major emphasis on the presence of water. The water design is we already went over the water, so we're not going to go over it that much. So there's swimming in this game. Whoop-de-doo. Modern Warfare 2 ledge grabbing movement. The final new movement technique introduced in this year's Call of Duty is called ledge hanging. This is by far the most flexible movement mechanic we've seen in a Call of Duty game to date. Ledge hanging cannot be defined by one scenario. Instead, the best way to describe it is by stating that it will allow players to interact with their environment in a variety of ways. For example, ledge hanging will allow you to pull yourself up from a ledge and peek over the top. The movement can be described as jumping, pulling yourself up around the surfaces, and peeking around obstacles or ledges. This dynamic movement, known as ledge hanging, will give Modern Warfare 2 players more movement options to choose from alongside swimming, diving, and sliding. Jesus, I had a stroke reading that entire thing.
I have a question for you. The ledge hanging, do you think it's gonna end up being something like the weapon mounting?
Yes.
I feel like that's gonna be the case. People are gonna bitch about it, and it's probably just gonna be something we're not gonna use as much.
Yeah, like the ability in Modern Warfare 2018 where they gave you the ability when you climb ladders to have your pistol out. No one gave a shit about that. I actually use that sometimes when we're playing the Ramaza map. I'll climb on that ladder and I'll peek that that window that the ladder's on, and sometimes you can get an easy kill because people don't realize, to this day actually, that you can have your pistol out while you're climbing the ladders in Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 2019. Sorry.
So I feel like it's gonna be like people are gonna bitch about it, like just like they did with weapon mounting, but I think it's gonna be like one of those things that it's just nice to have the option there when you want it. Because I remember us playing Cold War, and there were times where I was like, damn, I wish I could mount right now, but you couldn't. um, yeah. So we have a few more tweets, not too many. Basically, Spec Ops mode will return in Modern Warfare 2, with more information on co-op mode being announced at a later date. No information on the rumored DMZ mode was shared, so maybe we'll
Kind
get
of, I was
more
kind
of
of
that.
wondering that.
Yeah. Also, next tweet, quote, Modern Warfare 2 will also have an incredible post-release calendar set to include a massive amount of free post-launch content drops featuring new maps, modes, and blockbuster special events that can't be missed.
They didn't
So,
mention guns, but I'm assuming guns are gonna be.
no.
They
Oh,
have to
for
be a
sure.
part of that.
They have to, yeah. Um, the other tweet is about the water system, whatever. Infinity Ward mentioned they spent a lot of time building upon and enhancing all systems in Modern Warfare 2 for movement to gunplay with more to ensure the game felt new and different and not like an expansion pack to the 2019 game. As long as it's the same, if not better, then we're good. Just don't fuck it up. Almost all of Activision Studios are contributing to the development of Modern Warfare 2. That's wild. Like, that's almost all of their studios are fucking right behind Infinity Ward. Uh, they're putting a lot of their chips on this game.
Into Summer Games Fest tomorrow, June 9th, starting at 11 a.m. PT, 2 p.m. for people on the East Coast, to see the first Modern Warfare 2 campaign gameplay.
Yep, we got it tomorrow, baby.
Let's go! This channel is gonna be spammed with Modern Warfare 2, and that I don't give a shit, because that's the whole
Yeah.
point of this channel.
Oh. Also, yeah, so newest tweet, Modern Warfare 2's cheapest edition is $70. So the cheapest is the cross-gen edition, the cross-gen bundle, even including for PC.
Another tweet, in addition, expect more intel on a new Sandbox mode and the brand new Warzone play space as we get closer to launch. And then they said new Sandbox mode, eye emojis, so that's probably DMZ.
That's literally the comments are like literally DMZ.
Yeah. Again, Charlie Intel and other YouTubers had a chance to see MP during their visit. So more information about MP to come later this year. So probably in the next couple months. Usually when they say in later this year, they mean like literally next month. Almost all of the Activision studios are contributing to the development of Modern Warfare 2, with Infinity Ward leading the charge. I hope they stay leading the charge. I don't want Infinity Ward to abandon Modern Warfare or Warzone 2 like they did with Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 2019. When Warzone came out, they supported Warzone for like, I think it was like a couple months after launch, and then they started working on this game, and then Raven took over development on Warzone, which we know where that went. Next up, Infinity Ward mentioned that they've spent a lot of time building upon and enhancing. I literally think you just read this. Enhancing all systems for Modern Warfare 2 from movement to gunplay and more to ensure the game felt new and different and not an expansion pack in Modern Warfare 2019.
We have a brand new tweet saying, so that's something to note. If you're buying Modern Warfare 2 on Steam, it does not include double XP bonus in the Vault Edition. That's Battle.net exclusive.
It's kind of dumb.
Yeah, so if you want the double XP, you don't buy it on. Especially proud of the AI for in this game. Charlie Intel were invited to a creator session ahead of the reveal, where Mark Grigsby, animation director at Infinity Ward, explained what makes the AI so realistic and deadly. And I found this interesting. Modern Warfare 2 devs took inspiration from an unlikely place to design how the AI moves around an area. They observed how an airsoft player tried to avoid getting hit, checked their corners, and preserved their life, and they liked the way it looked. Capturing military professionals' movements, Infinity Ward crafted AI that are fully aware of their surroundings, check their corners, and will actually care about their own life. The devs described how the AI will feel like, quote, natural human people who are nervous about their lives. What makes them so deadly is that they won't be mindless bots running out in the open. They'll be strategically moving through an area trying to be a hard target, and will be likely, quote, hunting you. This advanced AI isn't only for the campaign either. They said that the AI will have the same level of quality in every mode, and plan to incorporate them into Warzone 2 for the best Warzone experience in a long time. These bots could also be used for large-scale battles, where they gave the example of a game mode with 300 AI and 100 live players. However, we will need to wait and see exactly how Infinity Ward plans to include these advanced AI. That's interesting. I read that about the airsoft player. I'm like, okay, this I should read this article. This is interesting. I got you.
Now we are on to Modern Warzone's Twitter. He goes on to say the Modern Warfare 2 campaign seems like it's going to have a reimagined version of the iconic all gilded up mission from Call of Duty 4. He goes on to say this is his own article. I'll try and link it down in the description. During our presentation, it was briefly mentioned that there would be a mission in a massive field in the northwestern part of Spain. It was said that we would be taking shots from 400 to 500 meters out. Again, we already previously discussed that. Accounting for bullet drop and other factors. The way they spoke about it really made it seem like a rethinking of the original all gilded up mission from COD 4. We didn't receive any further details on this mission or get to see any gameplay of it.